All right, we are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to your quick start training. How is everyone doing today? I see that we have a lot of people joining in, so that's awesome. So uh, let me introduce myself. My name is Luis, and I work as IT support for the Investment Dominator, and I will be your host today. I will be hosting this call. All right. So on this call, we will actually go over everything that you need to do to get started on the Investment Dominator. So we'll go over the initial setup that you need to do before you start mailing out those letters, okay? I know I'm sure some of you are really excited to start mailing those out, but there's an initial setup that you probably want to do first. Uh, so, and we will get to it on this call. So it's awesome that you're all here. And let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Once I'm done with the presentation that I have prepared for you, we'll also be taking questions that you may have right now. We will take those questions and then we will try to answer them live on this call. However, as mentioned here, the questions that we are not able to answer live on this call, we'll save them for the start of the next session, okay? So that would be on Thursday. Uh, So you're probably wondering, how do I send out those questions? So you do that by the first thing you have to join the computer audio, is shown here, and then you have to you should have a toolbar at the bottom of the RingCentral app, and then it should be questions or chat. You just click on that, and then you can submit your questions there as text, and then I can see them and I will try to answer them. Okay. And it's also worth noting that all these calls are being recorded, and then they will be posted on the user guide, so you can review them in the future. And we actually have several of these calls of the setup call. So if you have some questions, and then you don't need to wait until this call goes live, you can just review the past ones, and we go over the same setup. So that's worth noting. So I would like to begin this call by just mentioning the LPG deal flow. So this is basically how you go ahead and follow to do business. So the very first thing you have to do is you need to select a target market. All right. So you need to select the right target market. Probably you have to do research on this. It's not just maybe a place I like or a place I live nearby. You have to do research on a market. Next up, once you have selected a market, you have get a contact list of landowners and filter the list. So you have to get leads, and that means getting a contact list, and you have to work on making the list Investment Dominator importable. So, and you actually have several options to get leads. You can get a lead from a third-party website, and then filter the list so it matches the Investment Dominator, and then you can import it. Or you can use the data service integration that we have inside of the Investment Dominator, and you can get leads directly into your system without you would be skipping the filter list part of this, and just get the leads directly into your system. So that's an option you have. And then next up, when you have that list, well, the next step is to mail out those neutral letters and start talking to the sellers. So you're gonna mail out all those neutral letters, and then you're gonna get some callbacks. So people that are interested in hearing an offer from you. So that's what this means. You're gonna start talking. Once you get those offer requests, well, the next step is you need to do your preliminary research on the property. So that means you're going to do research so you can estimate an offer amount that you will mail out to them. And then once you have the correct offer, the Investment Dominator will actually help you uh, send out an offer. We have a calculator, so you will do research, and then the Investment Dominator will help you come up with an offer amount, and then you mail out those offers, slash option agreements. If they accept the offer, well, the next step is to do the open escrow, uh, do detailed research. So you are going to get that property ready for marketing. So you are going to be researching to get the latest information, to get the accurate information. You are working on your pictures. You're working on the text that you're gonna have on your ads, and all of that information is on this stage. So once you are ready to start marketing the property, well, that's the very next step. You market the property with or without owner financing, and then finally you sell the property and close to get paid. So that's the LPG deal flow that we have here. So just it will be really helpful to. I know a lot of you are new, and then I know a lot of you will be attending the maximizer. So don't worry, you will actually see all of this happening step by step. So you don't have to, get the notes right now like crazy. You will have the time to get accustomed to each part of the deal flow process. Okay. All right. Next up. So, and on this screen, we have on the left side, we have information that you will input into the system, into the Investment Dominator, and then on the right, we have outputted by the system, things output by the system. So you will enter your company information, you will enter the county data, you will enter offer requests, which you will receive by phone or by website. You will enter property details. You will enter tasks. You will enter prospects slash leads slash buyers. You will enter transaction information and lead tracking information. And what the system will do for you, it will produce you the letters. So the letters are ready to just be mailed out. It will output the offers. So the offers are ready to be mailed out. It will give you two websites. So it will give you the buying side and the selling website. It will give you calculator slash tool that will assist you in the entire process. It will give you analytics, and then there's team management. So it's an scalable system. If you're working on your own right now, you can add people into your system, and then you can give them an account. You can hand them the right permissions so they work on what they're supposed to do, and you can keep track of all of this. So that's what the team management part of this system comes. All right. Awesome. So at the end of the call, you should be getting an Investment Dominator survey. So if you are able to fill it out, really appreciate that. So if you can have the time, please go ahead and fill it out. And then I think we're ready to actually jump ahead into the Investment Dominator now. I have three things to show you that I have prepared. And that is called the big three. So what are the big three? It's the profile, the company information, and then the websites. So all of this you want to get set up before you start really doing anything. Any mailing, any marketing, any of that you want to start, get set up. And so basically, let's go over the first one, which is the profile section. So you log into your Investment Dominator. It should look like this. Then you want to go into Profile, My Profile. You click on that, and then you're going to have to fill out your first name, your last name, your email, your phone number. These will actually not be used like in the letters or anything. This will be just in the system in case we need to contact you. So you don't have to worry. We don't use this for marketing or anything. Just to have a file. And I believe you do get no notifications to this email, so that's why it's also there in the phone number. That for the tasks, if you have tasks in the system, that's where you get those notifications. And then you have the time zone, so you do that time zone that matches your own time zone. And then you have the signature. So the signature will be printed on your newsletters. Since you're mailing out probably thousands at a time or hundreds, probably don't want to go ahead and print and sign every one of them, right? The newsletters. You actually do want to do that for the offers, but let's talk about that another time. Basically, you have two options for the signature here. You can generate a signature within the system, or you can upload your own signature. Let's go ahead and look at the generate signature part. You just click on the generate signature button, and then you can just put in your name. So John Smith. Let's go for John Smith. Then you have the option to select the font. We have several fonts here. So let's go for the one that you prefer. And I like this one. I think this one is the best, in my opinion. And then you can actually change the color. So by default, it's going to be black. If you want to print your newsletters in color, well, you can add the signature. You can give it some color, maybe some blue. Maybe it will look really classy. You can go for blue. So you get the preview here. If you are happy with how it looks, you go ahead and click on Insert Signature. And then you get a preview here. Any of these changes that you have made so far, let's say you set your name, your email, all of this, they actually won't be saved until you go to the bottom here and click on Update. If you don't click an update, then any of these changes that I've made so far will be discarded. So let's go ahead and click on Update now. And now my signature will be this, the signature I just created now. All right. So you also have the option to upload your picture of the signature. So if you have it in like a image format in your computer, you can scan your signature. You go ahead and you have that file and you want to use that. You go ahead and click on Select Image. Then you find it in your system. Once you find it in your system, you just click on it, and then you're gonna have the option to crop it. So basically, it has to have a certain size. It does have a limit, right? As you can see, you have to crop it so it fits within those limitations. So with this rectangle is going to be your signature. So you have to be sure that your signature fits within this rectangle. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. So you have to make sure that your signature fits nicely in this, because that's what your signature will become. So once I have it centered and I have it looking fine, I just click on Confirm, and then you can see my preview here. So if I want to say this change, if I want to have this signature back, I will just click on Update, and that's my signature now. All right. That again, that will be used on your newsletters. And then if you want to use it on other letters, you can as well. So next up, we have password. So this is a section where you would be changing your own password. You can just go here. Then you have profile picture. So this profile picture is actually used for tasks. So we have a calendar with tasks, and then you can have your team. You can have everyone on your team have your profile picture, and then on the task calendar you will see what everyone has as tasks. So that's the idea here. You would just this works the same way as your signature. You just go to Select Image, find your picture, and then you just crop it. That's it. Works the same way as signature, and that's how you would set up your profile picture. And then the last one we have here is Enable Tour. So you may have noticed if you log in to the Investment Dominator for the first time, you are encouraged to take a tour. However, I would recommend you do that once, and then once you do that, you can just disable the tour here, just set it to no, it will never show up again. So I know that bothers some people, like, why do I always get the tour? That this is where you disable it, all right? And then you have view preferences. So this one is just, basically we have different views for the system. We have the list view or the card view, and then there's a calendar view. What I mean by this is you can set up which is the default one that you prefer to have show up when you go to land. So this one, this one is called the green boxes. If you want to go to this screen, I have it set to enable the summary page. I'm sorry, the summary page. If I disable it, and then I just click on land, it's going to be disabled. I'm going to go straight to my list. And then here I have this is called the list view, and then I have the card view. If I prefer the card view, like here, I can select it as the default one, and that happens over at this section, view preference section. So that's basically what this is. And then the notification settings. So as I said, like I mentioned earlier, you get a notification to this email and to this phone number. You get text messages for your tasks. If you would like to have a different email than this, let's say you want to be contacted to this email, but you would like to get notifications to this email. Let's say you want to get the notification to your work email. Just set it up here, and then the notifications will be sent to this instead. That's why it exists. It's an optional field. If you don't have it set up, the notifications will just be sent out to this the email and the phone number. That's basically it, and that's the entire profile section down. So, however, that's the shortest part. So let's go ahead and head into the company information. So you go over to customize and then company information. You can see this one is a little bit larger. Let's see. The first one you have is the company phone. So if I skip a little bit, you will see I actually have 3 different phone numbers. We have the company phone, the offer phone, and the selling side phone. There are 3 phone numbers for your company. You probably wonder, what are those? And my answer would be, we have a great article that explains what each of these are. So I will head over to help, to the user guide, and I'll just search for the RingCentral article, which is like the recommended setup that we recommend for your LAN, for your phone business, for your company. So what you do here is the RingCentral is just a virtual phone company. You can use another company, by the way. You don't have to use the RingCentral application. It's just a recommendation that we know it works, but you don't really have to use RingCentral, right? There are other companies that do the same kind of features as RingCentral. So we have 2 different setups. We have a 2-line setup, which means you're getting 2 virtual numbers, the local number 1 and the local number 2. And then on extension 1, that's where you're going to have the requests and offers. So this number, local number 1, extension 1, will be on your newsletters. So when people want to get an offer from you, they will call into this number. And typically, we would recommend that you don't answer those events, because you will be getting a lot of these calls, and a lot of your time will be spent answering these calls. So we generally recommend that you have a call center take the call for you, and the one we recommend it would be Padlive. As you can see here, you can use the service. They can take the call for you and get the notes and all of that. And then we have the local number two, the local number one, extension 2. And that's when people have questions about the offers that you sent. You actually want that number to be routed to your cell phone, and then you want to answer that yourself because it's people that you have sent an offer to, and then they have questions about the offer. So that's actually local number one, extension 2. Again, it's routed to your cell phone. And then you have a local number 2, which is your selling side phone. And that's questions about your land for sale. So when you have land on your selling site, and then they have questions about it, this is a number that is on your site. And then you also want to take that call yourself. So it's routed to your cell phone. All right. So basically this is when you have 2 lines. The local number 1, extension 1, is going to be your company phone, like shown here. Local number 1, extension 1. The local number 1, extension 2 is going to be the questions about your offer. So that's your offer phone, which is here. The number, extension 2. And then the selling side phone is the local number 2, which is a different phone number. And it's dedicated to selling side. So that's the 2-line setup that we have here. And then you have a 3-line setup. So the difference is just you have to buy to get another virtual number, so it's a little more expensive. But this one separates the local number 1, the request an offer. So that's your company phone, the same way that I showed you in the 2-line setup. But you have the local number 1, be that, and then the local number 2 is questions about your offer. So your offer phone. So that we're just getting rid of the extension and just have separate phone numbers for these 2. And it's going to be the same. You should take those calls when you have questions about your offers. And then you have the local number 3, questions about the land for sale, that goes to your cell phone. So the only difference is these two are going to be separated, and it's going to be very slightly more expensive to have the 3 different phone numbers than 2, I mean. And it will look like this, right? So you have the company phone is the local number 1. The offer phone would be local number 2, right? And then there's a selling side phone would be the local number 3. And then you have a setup guide. So the cool thing about these instructions is you have a recommended setup for your phone, for your virtual phone line. So that's why we would recommend RingCentral, just because we have this article. We know that they work well. But you can use any other, company. You don't have to use RingCentral. All right. So that's the phone numbers down. Let's talk about the company fax. So if you have a fax machine in your company, you want to advertise it, you set it up here, and it's going to be on the contact us page and on the offer cover letter. So you set it up. Then there's a company email. So if you go to emails, we skip again, we skip, you see that there's a company email, there's the offer email, and there's the selling side email. So those work the same way as the phone numbers. So the company email is going to be used for the contact us page and the system notifications, as shown here. The offer email is only going to be on your offer letters. So when you mail out those offers, that email will be printed on those letters, and that's it. It will not be used anywhere on your website. So, and then there's a selling side email, which is again shown on your selling side website only. So In the case of the emails, the offer email and the selling side email are actually optional. If you don't fill those two, it's just going to use your company email as your offer email, and that's your selling side email. But if you want to separate those three, that's where you can set it up. Just be sure to be checking the offer email. If you have it different from your company email, you'll want to check it in case you receive offers via email. And then the selling side email. The selling side email is also, you want to be always checking it, right? If you have three different emails, be sure to be checking all three of them. All right, so that's the email down. Let's go for the company name. So I'm sure some of you might have a company set up. So if you do, well, just set up your company name and be sure to include if it's an LLC or what it might be. You just set up here and then you're just set, right? That's all you have to do in the company name. And then it's going to be used on your letters and on your website, maybe. However, if you don't have a company set up still, what you can do is you can start doing business like this. You can do DBA, doing business as, and then you put in your name, and then you can start mailing out letters like this. And once your company is fully set up, you can come back here and then switch your company name for your proper company name once you have that set up. I would not recommend that you start a company name and then until it's actually fully set up, in case it doesn't happen, right? You don't want to start mailing out letters that aren't really to your company name. So you should just start as DBA and your name, and then once you actually have your company set up, you can come back here and switch it. Now, for your company address, that's going to be on your letters, so or on your envelopes. So you want to, for this one, if you are working from home, if you have an office, you set up your office here, right? On your company address, the company city, the state, and the zip. You set up your office. If you are working from home, we do not recommend that you actually set your home address as your company address. The reason is because you're mailing out thousands of letters. Some people may get offended for whatever reason from getting letters from you. They can Google your address and see that your home. We do not recommend that in general. So what we recommend you do instead, if you're working from home, is that you go to the UPS store and then you get a PO box, and then you can just get you can use their address as your company address, and then you get all the mailing there. I know there are like virtual mailings as well, all that fun stuff, but we do not generally recommend that you use your home address as the company address, and that's why. All right, so you set that up. Once you have that up, and then we already went over offer, phone, and email. You have the company time zone, so that's the general time zone that your company is in. I believe this affects your letters, so it's going to show up if you're Eastern time, if you're Pacific, it's going to say that on your letters. Then this is where you change that. Then you have company notes. And then you have the real estate agent / broker disclosure. So if you are not a real estate agent / broker, you can just leave that as no. That's by default. It's set to no. But if you are one, then you might be required to disclose it. So you set that to yes, and then you have a default agent disclosure here. But if you want to change it, you can actually change the wording to best fit the disclosure that you need, right? You can just change the disclosure here to match the disclosure that you want printed on your letters, right? So that's the agent disclosure. Since I'm not a real estate agent, I can just set that to no. And then next up, we have the tax ID type. So this is where you can set your SSN, TIN, or EIN. And this is where you would put it. Your data is fully secure here. However, this is actually an optional field. The only reason you would need to input this field is if you are using the Action automated payments. This is when this would be required. Otherwise, this is actually optional. So you don't really need to fill it out if you don't want to, unless you plan on using the Action integration. So you can go ahead and skip that for now if you are not getting that integration. All right. All right, we are done with the company information. And then the last of the big three we have here is your website. So as I have mentioned, you have two websites, your buying site and your selling site. You need to get two domains for those websites. By default, your websites look like this: Investment Dominator and then your CRM number. And that's not cool, right? You don't want that to be in your letters. You don't want that to be on your mailings. On your advertisements. You want to have your own websites, right? So you need to purchase those domains, and I'm sure most of you already have the domains and probably set up. But in case you aren't, you need to purchase the domains for your buying site and for your selling site, and then you need to link them to the Investment Dominator. And how do you do that, you wonder? Again, we have a user guide article for this. For the domain provider, we generally recommend GoDaddy. You can are free to use another domain provider. Just recommend GoDaddy because we have an article. We know that they work well, and it's a fairly popular service, frankly. So we have this article that goes over every step. So from registering a domain, signing into the GoDaddy, you need to purchase those domains. You need to purchase two domains: your buying site and your selling website. And then once you have those two, you need to do some configuration over at GoDaddy before you can link those to your Investment Dominator. So you need to go into your GoDaddy account. You need to purchase those domains. You need to click on the domain, and then you have the domain settings, and then you want to click on the DNS manage zones, and then you need to search for the domain name again. So you need to actually do this twice. You need to do this for your buying site and for your selling site. So you need to do the entire process. It needs to really happen twice because you need to do it for your buying site and then you do it for your selling site. So you type in your domain, and then you need to edit this. You need to go into records, and you need to find the CNAME where the name says www, and then you edit that, and the value has to be, you need to change the value to investmentdominator.com as shown just in this picture, and then the time to live, the TTL, you need to change that. The default should be like, I don't remember exactly, but it's minutes. It's a long time. Then you need to change it to custom, and then you need to change it to 600 seconds as shown on the picture. So you need to do this step, and then there's a second step you need to do. You scroll down a little bit from here, and then you are going to be, here's the picture. So if you click on this little pencil, you actually get sent to this picture, to this screen, and then there's the points to, needs to be investmentdominator.com. The time to live you need to change from 1 hour to custom and to 600 seconds. So you need to do that, click on save, and then you scroll down a little bit, just a little bit, and then you go to the forwarding option. And then you need to click on the domain part, you need to click on add. And then you need to, with the HTTP, you need to be sure that it says HTTP. You need to put your domain here. So you would put your entire domain, www. Then your domain, And then the forwarding type needs to be permanent. So again, just like the picture, you click an add, you put up your domain here, and then you leave it as permanent, and just click save, and you are done with the GoDaddy part. Again, you need to do this for your buying and for your selling site. And then you want to go back into the Investment Dominator, the Customize section, website settings, buying and selling, and you would change your domain here. So you click on change your domain, you input your domain here, as shown here, and that's it. So you click on change, you input your domain name, you just click on continue, and there's actually one last step, because if you leave it like that, your site won't actually be secure. You need to get the SSL. So once you finish this, you will actually have a button that says click here to secure your website, and that's the SSL button. So once you finish setting up your domain, you're gonna get this button right here at the bottom. It's called click here to secure your domain. You click on that button, and then you click on the generate SSL button, and then just wait a little bit until it loads, and that's pretty much it. Now both of your websites will be set up and secured, and you would be done. If you don't want to change your websites, let's look at mine. Let's see. So this is my buying site. This is the default website. If you're happy with that website, you're done. That's all you have to do to set up your website. And then let's look at the selling website. I might have a custom theme for this website. I don't remember. Let's take a look. No, I don't. So that's basically the entire setup for your websites. We have this article. You probably have already, pretty much everyone has probably done this already. But for the people that haven't, we have the article on the user guide, the GoDaddy article. You can go to help user guide and search for GoDaddy, and then the entire process is here, ready for you to follow. And then if you have issues, you can submit a ticket, and I'll tell you how to submit a ticket and get in contact with us, with the support team, after this, at the end of the call. Okay. So that will be the quick trace setup, the initial setup that we recommend that you do. So the profile section, the company information, and your buying and selling site. That's the initial setup. Once you have all of these down, well, you're ready to start importing records and start mailing out records. All right. But do not skip on this. All right. So let's see the questions. I do see we have a few questions. So let's try to answer them. All right. Are you able to check our Investment Dominator to look at our website setup? Well, Elizabeth, I'm happy to do that. However, I don't think that this is the best place to do it. So what I would recommend you do, Elizabeth, is go to help, create a new support ticket. So, and then you can ask these questions. It is only really applying to you. I don't really want to like share that with everyone. Your own information and your system. It would be best if you submit a ticket mentioning, "Hi, can you help to check your website setup to make sure it is correct?" And then we will take a look at the websites that way, and then you can just the link to the issue if you have like an URL, and you can set up with the platform that you use, the browser, the priority, how important it is to you to get a response, and then you can attach pictures or documents to the tickets. So you can be as descriptive as you can, descriptive as you can. Please be sure to fill out the information as much as you can to help them understand your problem better, so we can assist you more easily. Hopefully, we don't need any more information from you. So please be as descriptive with your opening ticket as you can, and then we'll get back to you on the ticket. We'll be sure to check your website. We'll be sure any issues that you're having with the Investment Dominator. This is where you can get help. You can attend these calls, of course, or you can create a new support ticket, and then we can help you more quickly, so you don't have to wait until the next call to get live help. All right. Awesome. So next up, we have why selling information should have a different phone number and email than buying information. That's a great question, Karina. And my answer would be they're actually different businesses. You have two different websites that are doing different things. You're buying land, and then you're selling the same land that you're buying. So you probably don't want them to be one website. You really want to keep those two separate. So that's the main reason. You want them to have a different a different website, a different email, a different phone number. You don't want them to be the same company because or the same title. They want them to be separate, the websites, because I don't think it's beneficial for you to have them on the same on the same place. You're buying land, and then you're selling the land, but then they're gonna see that you're selling the land for this much, and then you're offering them this much for the land. I don't think it's the best idea to keep them in the same place. But that would be my answer to that. And then how can I customize the website? That's a great question. And my answer would be you can actually create custom themes for your website. So let's go over to Help, User Guide, and then you can search the custom theme. And you can see you can do that for your buying side and for your selling side. So you can create your own custom theme that just looks awesome, looks just like you want your website to look. By default, we only have two themes. So we have the legacy theme and the 2.0 theme. But then you have the upload custom theme button here. So if you go over to this article that I'm telling you about now, you have several sample themes that you can use right now. You have these 4 sample themes, and then you can actually create your own theme that just looks awesome, that looks just right for you. Or you can start by using one of these sample themes if you like them. So like I just showed you, I just download this sample theme, upload it here, and then I can use it. And let's see how different it is. Just click on update site. Be sure to click on update. And then let's take a look at how my buying website's gonna look now. You can see the change, right? It's just a different theme. And that would be how you can customize your websites. And it's the same for the selling website. You can work on that, and then you have all the website customization here. You can change the description, the title. You can change the banner. You can change all of this stuff is customizable. The text, you want to change the text. All of this information you can actually fully customize. So again, I would recommend you head over to the user guide and search for the customization of your website. You can add custom pages. You can add videos to your websites. You can do so much customization to your websites. So I would advise that you look into this. But I think you will be happy with the custom themes that we have available for you to use. All right. And then the last one I see is, where can I find the letters that we use in our mailings? Well then, those are actually already in the system. So once you have records put into the system, by default, they will be sent to prospects. So let's say if you import the list, however you got the records, then you head over to campaigns. And then you can see my newsletter campaign, which is gigantic. I have 8,000 or so. This is my testing system. I'm not really mailing out letters with this system. It is way too many. So I just have, well, I mean, I guess I can print those out, but typically your campaign will be like more like 1,500 letters, maybe a week that you're mailing out. So you go over to campaign, land campaigns, and then you have in your newsletters here. So once you have the records in prospect, you head over here, and then you print those. So you click on local printer. If you're printing out these yourself, the records yourself, you head over to local printer and you print the envelopes and the letters, and then you mail those out. So that's one option. So you know what, this is going to take way too long. I have way too many records right now to fix it. I need to just get rid of some records because it's way too many. And then if you're actually using a mailing house, so we have the ITI Direct template. So if you're using ITI Direct for your mailings, you click on that, and then, oh wow, it did download with you can see how big that is. Yeah, basically here are your letters. This is the newsletter. You can see what the text is here. You can see it's using my website, it's using my phone number, it's using my signature that I set up earlier, my name, all of that. It's just that easy to get the letters printed. And then if you're using a mailing house, what they want is they want this CSV template, they want the CSV list, and then they want the letter template and the envelope template. So this is a single template, just a single page, and basically they will join this with the CSV Excel list, and then take care of your mailing that way. And if you see the Excel list, it's going to have all of the records that I have, like 7,000 something. It's going to have all of them in this list, and they can take care of your mailing that way. So if you are using ITI Direct, you're using another mailing company, mailing house, you head over to other and download these here, and then just provide them with those. And the last option you have actually to mail out those letters is to the RBI print mail. That's actually a direct integration that we have. You can actually take care of your newsletter campaign within the Investment Dominator. You don't even have to go to another website, and you can just sign up for the RBI print mail integration. And then within the Investment Dominator, you will have the option to send out the records directed to RBI print mail. You can pay for the campaign right here, and then they just take care of it. You don't even have to worry about printing anything, about getting any lists, any of that. You can do that, all of that within the Investment Dominator, just by using the RBI print mail integration. Yeah, that's basically where you have the letters. So this is a newsletter. This is the offer letters. So here's the offer cover letter, the offer agreement, the exhibit A. All of the letters are in the campaign. The option letters, the blind offers, the property file labels. All of these letters are here then. So I hope I was able to answer your question. All right, so lastly, I want to leave you with the live train. So you all joined the call with this, right? So please remember, this is just a setup call, but we actually also have the Q&A session on Thursdays. So that's a more advanced call where we go over like maybe topics that you might be interested in implemented into your own Investment Dominator system. So please go ahead and register for that call also. If you have the chance to join live. If you don't have the chance, you can actually view the replays of the previous calls that we have here by clicking on this button. So you click on that, and then you have a lot of the calls are going to be here. And then you can just see the timestamps. The YouTube video is there. There's the timestamps. And then if you need to quickly go to a certain part of the call, you can just skip over to the part of where you're interested in joining watching, right? So that's pretty much how you can review these calls, the past calls. And with that, again, if you're having any issues, please go ahead and create a new support ticket. And the tech team, the tech support team will be more than happy to assist you with whatever issue you might be having. And so I really appreciate that everyone joined the call. Thank you so much, and I hope I was able to help you, everyone. And I'll see you later. All right, take care. Bye bye.